Hey YouTube, Nahu here from BlackMetalFinance to discuss what we saw last week in the stock market and to discuss some plays that we have for this upcoming market as well. Before we get started, please be sure to smash that like button. Please also to be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to subscribe to our Discord community. We can find the link down below in the description. And it's also important to note, folks, that this is exclusively for entertainment and education purposes. This is not financial advice. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look at the leading indice last week, which was the Dow Jones. It closed at 32,000, or in fact smashed that and was above 32,750. The S&P closed at all-time highs just below 4,000, and the Nasdaq was the lagging indice and failed to close above 13,000, but still held support at 12,800. So why did the Dow Jones lead last week? For multiple reasons, but primarily we've seen an uplifting of some of these COVID restrictions, return to the old economy, and folks going back to work. So some names that we've seen in that sector rising up significantly: Boeing last week, United Healthcare, Nike as well. In fact, there's a growth story now behind Nike, given that folks want to go back to the gym. So that's going to be interesting to note as well. But taking a look at the S&P, though it did reach all-time highs, in order for us to reach these price targets that analysts have put out, 4,200, 4,300, we need to see the winners keep winning. We need to see technology get back to leading this race. With that being said, Tesla did have its best day in over a year with 20% last week. But we're going to be monitoring Apple, Amazon's, the Microsofts of the world. Me in particular, I'm going to be looking at Apple and how it trades at that 120 level. Are we going to keep trading sideways like we saw last week? Or are we going to start to see some upside 120 to 125? So with that being said, what are some plays that we're going to have this week? Well, taking a look at some earnings, we have some good stuff coming up, actually. There's CrowdStrike on Tuesday. That's one that we like, big with cybersecurity. Leonard, this is a home building company, seeing how the stock has risen significantly during COVID. How is guidance going to play out as things begin to ease up with respect to lockdown? Gevo, this is a company that we don't really own long-term. However, it's a moderator favorite of ours, so it's something that we've put on our watch list. William and Sonoma. This is a stock that benefits from the stay-at-home kitchenware and whatnot. What's going to happen as things begin to reopen? Let's see what happens and see how their guidance reports out. And two marijuana plays to keep note of: Sundial, SNDL. This has been a fan favorite, as well as Hexo. These are both stocks we've traded in the short, but not long-term. This might be an indicator of how other marijuana stocks are going to be playing out later on for this financial quarter. And again, we stated Nike already. They also have earnings this week as well. Again, we stated there was a growth story with that too. And lastly to note is Lordstown Motors, ticker symbol RIDE. They in fact had a pretty harsh short report released by Hindenburg Research on them. They have earnings this week, and we're going to be monitoring that as well as the entire EV sector. And now switching over to our Wall Street bet stocks. Now that stimulus has passed, retail investors are in a state of euphoria. We're going to be monitoring, the GameStops, the AMCs, the BlackBerries, the Nokias of the world, as we believe that they're going to be trending, and there may be something to play in that sector. And now also, when it comes to Bitcoin, we like to play some of these blockchain companies. Ebon was a big one for us the latter part of last week, Thursday, Friday. And of course, Riot and Mara, doesn't matter upside or downside. They trend along they trend along with Bitcoin. And speaking of Bitcoin, it finally broke out of its previous all-time high of 58,000 and is now towards 61,000, and we're monitoring at that level as well. Now, it's important to note with respect to cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin for now has always been the leader for bull markets. Once it cools off and trades and consolidates in a technical channel, that's when you see the Ethereum, the DeFi, the altcoins begin to take up and lead the charge from there. However, it is pertinent to note, when Bitcoin drops, so too does the entire cryptocurrency market for now. So again, just to reiterate, we've had some earning plays that we're taking a look at, the YOLO Wall Street bet stocks, as well as some blockchain, Bitcoin sentiment plays that we have lined up as well. And then of course, marijuana. So those are some things that we have in mind, folks. Please be sure to leave any comments, feedback on what you think may also be on your radars. And yeah, we hope to hear from you guys soon. We'll see you guys back next week.